Hello, everyone, and welcome to ForcedToPod. My name is Saxon, but you can call me Sax. Joining me today, I have the man who just got back from Costco, knows no stranger nor pepper too spicy, back from the trenches with his trail mix in hand and in mouth, I guess, right now. Nick, how you doing, man?
I'm pretty good.
Of course, I had to go to you right after you took a bite. I'm like
a
waiter.
I knew the order. I knew this is how it always goes.
Well, I'm glad you remembered because I'm not sure I would. I didn't think I was going to.
Yeah, did just go to Costco. Had a good time shopping for stuff I don't need, and somehow left only, spent less than $100.
Holy!
So, and got
That's damn good.
I don't know, several items, 10 maybe.
Really?
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, typically when you're getting things, I don't know. Was it 10 individual items or like when I go there, I get like a pack of gum and it's like 10 packs of gum inside.
So I just threw my receipt away. It was probably maybe 7 individual items.
I gotcha.
But it was like a big pack of chicken, 48-ounce thing of trail mix or whatever, 64 ounces of trail mix or whatever. Just stuff like that.
I gotcha. Typically, we get our salmon, toilet paper, laundry detergent, and trash bags / paper towels, like that kind of stuff.
Yep. Just got trash bags today also.
Yeah, that's about all we usually get from there. And then we just get assorted stuff for meals and things throughout the week. So
yeah. Well, we get a lot of like snack stuff for the kids. The individual bags of popcorn or whatever for that, because they take their lunch every day during school, which is not in right now, but will be soonish.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And last but absolutely not least, we have the man who'd rather be outside than wherever he's currently at, the married one. I am the mountain man, Walker. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm the last married one. The no longer, well, single's not the right word, but
Yeah.
I don't know, unattached. To say goodbye to all my side chicks. Very sad.
The detached one. So
yes. No, I'm very, very good. Very pleased.
good, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So I was just telling Nick. So I joined early. Walker joined in, and then Nick came in. I was just telling Nick right before I hit record. I was like, I've been sitting here about to explode with all the questions I wanted to ask Walker, but I couldn't do that. So we wanted to go ahead and just hit record. So guys, tonight it's not lost on us that we've lost our schedule a little bit. Things have been insane. We're going to talk all about it tonight. We're going to get as personal as we feel. I'm feeling good with it, and we're going to send it. But basically, we appreciate you guys for listening, those who do listen. And, still, I went in tonight. I went into the Spotify things. I hadn't checked in a minute. So we still got people listening on Spotify doing that kind of thing. Our last episode, we think that YouTube might have just nuked it from existence. We were just talking about it, had a big old goose egg because we talked about trying to use AI to get to the Titanic. And I'm pretty sure that YouTube did not like that for the algorithm. So the humorous thing, I would love, that would be so funny if it stayed at 0. Like they never ever showed it to someone. But I was like, that's like someone would accidentally click the video before that. So people listen to it on Spotify. They just didn't on YouTube. So I think they just didn't even see it. So, but yeah, if you're listening, please like, subscribe, comment wherever you listen, and you can join the conversation too on our Discord. So I pop all kinds of stuff, just unique stuff in there. And we all do. We talk about different things, share pictures from weddings occasionally, things of that sort. Pictures from our travels, things of that sort. So, anyways, bit.ly/ForcedToPod Discord, all one word, and you can join the conversation. So our topic of the night is what the heck has happened in our lives since the last time we recorded. Without further ado, Walker, you got married, man. So
I did.
Tell me about it. I'll tell you about my side of it later, but I want to hear your side of it. What was your experience getting everyone there, seeing all your friends in one place? Give us the details.
Almost all your friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Almost all my friends. Yeah, some of my buddies from college weren't able to make it. It's really sad. Getting married is a deeply weird and broadly upsetting endeavor. It is uncomfortable to me in the extreme to be the center of attention. I hate that on a deep level. and I'm glad it's over. It was a great party though. I had a really good time, and it's a very interesting combination of just really boring because you're sort of just sitting there while everybody else does, and then especially as the groom, it takes me 2 minutes to put my suit on. We timed it. Plus,
Comes
oh, okay,
together
plus
so
like
fast,
30
man.
seconds to tie my tie, right? And then you're just sort of like waiting. So in you know, I don't know, mountain man fashion, I was using my binoculars to just kind of watch people getting ready at the wedding. That's not a joke. I was standing out the one of the top windows of that building, Sachs, and just like watching people in a
So you,
totally not creepy way.
yeah,
Johnny
so
Promise.
you
Depp
guys got
secret
ready.
window.
You guys got ready in that, like in that building, because I
Yeah,
saw I
yeah.
saw you guys like coming and going from it, but I wasn't sure. I want to talk about the venue here in a little bit, but I'll let you continue.
No, I was when will my husband return from the warring up top, just watching everybody go around like
You're
what?
writing letters and
Yeah.
kissing it with your lipstick.
No, because I'm sure I've mentioned this. My first job ever was working as a caterer for weddings. Um, and it was really strange to be on the other side of it because I've now attended a couple weddings as guests, but I've attended orders of magnitude more weddings as like on an official capacity, if you will. So like having people setting up chairs and tables and passing hors d'oeuvres and stuff, the urge to pick up a platter and start walking around was really strong. Um, so yeah, mostly I just sat around, honestly, for the first part of the day. It was yeah, weird. Uh,
Was Chloe's side of things as uneventful?
I think it was more eventful just because it takes a little bit more to like get her, into her get up or whatnot. Her dress was fairly simple, I believe, from like a setup standpoint, but she had hair and makeup and um, that stuff that she had to do. Um, so
So the
it,
so our experience. So we flew in. So myself, Heather, and then Hala and Big T ended up having the opportunity to come out celebrate with you. And so we came in, and then it was funny because so Heather and I, like, our prep for the trip was you sent the invites. We knew we were coming. We booked our stuff like way back in like March or whatever it was. And then just life just happened, and we completely like block, like we had it in the calendar, but we completely blocked out everything related to the travel like portion of it. Like we knew what we were doing, like basically everything wedding related, but like everything else usually that's just not how trips work for us, right? Like that kind of thing. So we had like a Discord call one night with Holland and team. We were just like, we were like, hey, or we found out they were coming, and then we got in together like, all right, let's plan some stuff so we can do. And basically Heather back in March, she had just dialed in just a like Google Doc of like all this stuff that we could do in Portland and then in Bar Harbor. Holland T didn't come with us to Bar Harbor, but that we could do. And it's funny because I guess like me and Holland, we were just completely tapped out. We were just like, oh yeah, she's got this. Like I knew it was going to be beautiful. I knew all this stuff, but like I didn't really know what we were getting into. And then Heather, she kind of just threw the stuff together. But what's funny is we shared the doc with T, and T read it as an agenda, and she had like 20 restaurants on there. So he was just reading down the list like, oh, we're going here, going here, going here.
It's fired up.
But
I'm
the
gonna try
thing
everything
is,
in
the
Maine.
thing is, I didn't realize like Holland T are like real foodies. Like they really
they
like
are. Yeah,
they
they really are.
really like going to places. So we literally went to like 7 restaurants together with them over
Hell
like
yeah.
2 days. So it was awesome.
Hell yeah.
It was great.
What was your favorite? I'm really curious because there are a
Beals
ton of
Beals
things.
in Bar Harbor was the best restaurant we had the entire time. Just the seafood, dude. It was like the when you walk up. So we stayed at a place called the Claremont in like right outside of Bar Harbor. I'm not actually sure what the actual like
Still on the
town is.
island, or was it on the mainland?
It was on the mainland. It just was away. It was a little ways away. I should know. I drove it so many times because we went back and forth between Bar Harbor and our hotel. Or yeah. But anyways, this Beals restaurant was literally just like right around the corner from the thing. So we just walked over there. It was like a 5-minute walk. Went, and all of a sudden we turn the corner and we just see this enormous line of people just coming out the front of it. And I'm like, okay, I was like, are these all the people that are waiting to be seated? Well, the answer is yes, because they kind of just do like an open front to the restaurant. You walk in, and then they find out how many you have in your party, and then they just assign you a seat there instead of like putting you there and waiting on you and stuff of that sort. So they'll come by and they'll get you refills and stuff like that if you need to, but they kind of like let it funnel that way. And then as you're going, they come out and ask like ahead of time, like, hey, is anyone getting like full lobsters and things of that sort, and kind of like get that part out of the way as you're getting through the line. But man, we like our eyes, most of the time on the trip, our eyes were bigger than our stomach. That night they were not. We ordered a crap ton of food and we ate nearly every bite of it. Like it was phenomenal. So she had mussels. We both had like this like garlic butter lobster roll. We both got it because it sounded good to both of us. We did not want to share. And I got fried shrimp. She got mussels. I got like the cornbread, and it came with fries, and like I don't know, it was incredible. So that was my favorite by far. I think that was probably her favorite as well. We wanted to go back to it, but the timing wouldn't work out because we were getting on a boat like for like a sunset sailing type situation, and we couldn't get back in time for it. So
Were you guys able to find a Red Lobster while you were out there? Or?
I looked high and low.
I know they exist. I know for a fact there's one in Augusta, but I don't know where the other ones are because I mean, if there was a Red Lobster in one of the coastal towns, I think people would riot.
Dude, so Bar Harbor was much more touristy than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be busy because I think you had told me and Heather had told me, but like I didn't know how. Like I didn't know if it was just because it was like a smaller town type thing. No, it was pretty touristy. Like when we were out and stuff, it wasn't bad. Like everyone was very kind, and we actually didn't have any problem finding seats finding parking or seats like when we went to restaurants and things of that sort. But then I felt bad, and I'll talk about this a little more later. My knee was really, really hurting me during the time. So we went to Acadia a couple of times, but I was struggling like with some of the hiking and stuff we wanted to do. So we got to see views, but basically we took our car and like we kind of like skipped between like parking like stops essentially and did that. So
that's a good way to do it. I mean, it's that loop around the outside of the park is beautiful, and there's a bunch of good stuff to like scoot off and see. It's a very common way to do it.
So I want to circle back, but Nick, you said you have something wedding related. So before I kick back to Walker, what was your
I forgot. I on paper technically have officially officiated a wedding.
Okay.
Okay.
So
since our last recording?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Let's go.
There was no ceremony. All right, let me explain this. So there's a couple, a friend of ours, their son has gone to school with our oldest since kindergarten. And they've been together for a very long time. They just never have decided to get married or whatever. And I think the circumstances surrounding this now were, I think she's changing jobs or something of that effect, and the insurance is going to be way worse or whatever. It just makes sense that she could get put on his insurance, but they had to be married. So essentially they went to the courthouse. She texted Chris and was like, said something about, told her about it. She's like, well, Nick's, technically, what do you call it? Ordained.
Yeah.
Because I've been ordained online through the Universal Life Church or whatever.
Same.
And so they went and picked up the paperwork, brought it over, and I just signed it in my kitchen. And I was like, here you go. You're good to go. They said that's the quickest wedding ceremony of all time. And they said, but mine and Kristen's was close second.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I say that often, how short yours is. So this was not Zach? Because
No,
that sounded
no,
just
no, no,
that
it's
sounds
not-
just like
not
Zach's story.
Zach,
I'm like,
no.
I was like, I don't think this is Zach because you would be coy about it. You would just say it was Zach.
No,
but it
yeah, I would've-
sounded
I would've
so
had
much
him on.
like it when you were
No,
talking about it.
I'm sure at some point there'll be a similar situation. I mean, yeah, I don't know if this couple, if I can't remember if they're engaged technically or not. But it's a whole thing where they've been together for over a decade. They have a child together. They've lived, bought several houses together. All this stuff. It's just now it worked out that it was easier for them logistically to be married, so they just brought me the paperwork and I signed it.
Well, even the concept you said, like if they were officially engaged, like even that concept's kind of funny because it's kind of like just like Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy, like
Right.
walking out, like you just post something on Facebook and be like, I get, we did a thing. It's like, okay,
Right.
like if you don't tell anyone, it's kind of like tree falls in the forest. Did it actually? It's like if you
Well,
got engaged but you don't
yeah.
tell anyone, does it actually count?
I mean that does. I'm not trying to talk about him, but like behind his back or whatever. But that does apply to Zach's situation. They've been engaged for several years, and they just, stuff comes up. Their daughter has a lot of stuff going on with softball or whatever, so they just never have sat down and been like, we want to spend a bunch of money on a party. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's fun. But yeah, you were talking about wedding. I was like, oh, I forgot I signed wedding paperwork.
Yeah. Super relevant.
It's weird. It's weird how easy it is to get into like one of the most significant legal contracts of most people's lives. Like in
Yeah.
terms of, it's easier to get married than to go buy a car, for God's sakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were 2 trips to the courthouse and 1 to my kitchen. Like that was all it took. And honestly, like I have been ordained. I can get a certificate if I need to or whatever. You could just have somebody sign it. Because in Indiana, nobody's checking. Like I didn't have to go to the courthouse and say, yes, I am ordained. These people, this is an official good standing document or whatever. I mean, they could have probably signed it left-handed with somebody else's name and taken it in, and it would have, for all intents and purposes, it's the same thing, right? So, yeah, it is pretty easy.
Yeah, the official act is giving the piece of paper to the court. It's not an individual signing it. Like it's mostly symbolic at that point. So I officiated a COVID wedding for my cousin, and I really like doing it, but it was like, most of the witnesses were over FaceTime and there was just a few of us in the backyard and stuff like that. So that was about it. So, but Walker, I did want to actually, that's a pretty good segue. I wanted to ask you about your officiating situation. We don't have to get too specific, but I did want to talk about it because I thought it was a cool setup. So I figure,
Yeah, no. So we like you said, we had two officiants, both of whom were my roommates in college, when I was a junior, which is the year I met Chloe, obviously, and they were the ones who set us up on our blind date. That turned out pretty good, actually. So we thought it would be, I don't know, amusing, bringing things full circle. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but I don't know, apropos, I guess, to have them officiate the wedding, and they did a great job, I thought.
Yeah.
Very funny people.
Yeah, they
so we
killed
had
it.
them just give a short little speech and yada yada yada. I really loved having them do it, honestly.
Yeah, they were very articulate, and you could tell they really, really cared. Like they were super prepped. They were rehearsed. You could tell they were
Oh, yeah.
rehearsed. Like when they would
Yeah.
pass off the
Yeah.
mic and stuff, and take care of that and everything. And then, man, it was funny, Nick. We got there, so I don't drink, so I was like, all right, I'll just make sure, like I'll just drive. We just loaded in the car, and then Holity came with Heather and I, and we drove over, and we got there, and we weren't late, but we were like right on time. And usually we're like, we want to get there early, and we were just, honestly, it was Heather. She was doing her hair and stuff. She was getting ready.
Right
She
under the
started
bus.
super early. It just took her way longer.
This
She
is
was
a
like,
very women be shopping complaint.
yeah, she started, like, to her credit, she started way early, but she got this like hair curler and she really wanted to do it, and her hair looked great, but it was just one of those things like it took her way longer than she thought it would. So she had tested portions of it, but doing her entire head
It just wasn't coming together in time. It
No.
happens.
Hold on, I got to pull up the picture you sent in Discord to verify. Yep, hair did look great.
Yep, hair was curled and great. So she she ended up doing that, and then we left when we needed to. We got there right on time, but Nick, when we got there, it was like Walker's around the hedge, like about to be there, and I'm walking. I'm like, I was like, okay, how do I get down to where it was? Because basically, like,
it was
the
confusing.
building, and I want to talk about what actually all the buildings were, because it was a very interesting, like a very, very interesting location. But basically, it was a school, correct? Like, was that the
it's a
school building that was up there? So, like, school building kind of at the top of the hill, and then down the hill was where the actual ceremony was. So then I could look and I could see all of the guests, and like it was one of those things like we're above the, and I was like, how in the hell did we actually, because like we parked where everyone parked, but I was like, I don't know if there was like a formal like
No, just the road.
routing to get them around. So I was like kind of panicked, and then you kind of just like pointed, and I was like, okay, great. Like I kind of understood where to go at that point, but
Yeah.
I was like, I do not want to walk somewhere that's like you know what I mean? It's like, oh no, like this guy doesn't get it. You're supposed to walk all the way around and get it. So we worked it out, got there. Honestly, the weather was great. I can't wait to see the pictures. I'm really excited to see the pictures.
We've gotten like 100 samples or whatever,
Okay.
and they came out really good, actually.
Good.
That reminds me. I think I, I'll have to check, but I think you and Heather actually were in the photos of
Let's
the
go.
ones that we.
There might be some of you guys from our wedding photos. Although it took us 6 months to get ours
Dude,
back.
It did take a long time
months?
for you to get. I saw one.
It was at the point where Kristen was almost like, well, actually, not even. Kristen is usually the one who's on it with the complaints and sending things back and getting what she paid for. It was to the point where I was about to. I had already messaged the lady nicely and said, like, hey, just wondering, when we're gonna get our stuff or whatever. Yeah, it was almost to the point where I was like, hey, where the are the pictures?
Yeah.
And the only thing that kept me from doing that was knowing that she had the ability to delete all of those pictures. So if I was going to be an asshole about it, we could have gotten our money back or whatever in small claims court if it came to that, but we wouldn't have had the photos.
Yeah.
So we just had to kind of ride that out.
Yeah, yeah.
Was there any explanation for why it took so long?
No.
Photography.
She's busy. It was wedding season. She had a lot of other stuff to do. I don't know.
That's how it goes.
I think the explanation is this lady's personality. She's very eccentric, kind of like, I'm sure she was bouncing around doing a million things and just kept going, oh, I'll get to that, and then never did. It took forever, but I mean, we got them all. We got several hundred photos back, so
yeah, that is kind of an
fine.
Interesting thing when it comes to the editing process and things like that for all the pictures, because it's not like you don't want them to just dump a bunch of raw files on you. It's
right.
Like, well, that's not what we paid for, so doing that as well. So, but yeah, I don't know, Walker. We really, really, really had a good time at your wedding. Good. Really enjoyed just the vibe. We had great conversation. I don't remember their name, but had great conversations at the table. With the ladies that were there. So
good. I'm glad. They're really lovely folks. Some of Chloe's extended family. I'm laughing not because I'm laughing because we had a couple people cancel last minute and we had to panic shuffle people around, and the YouTube groups got the short end of the stick and got placed with randos.
I didn't feel like that at all. I felt like we could see everything. Like we had a great table to be able to see all the speeches and stuff like that. Dance floor was right there, and then we had a good conversation. So I mean that's kind of how it goes, right? Like I mean we're your friends from video games, TM. You know what I mean? It's like okay, well there are many people that are going to do whatever. So we were just
degrees of separation there. Yeah, no, God, the seating by far the worst part of the wedding. Horrible. Never want to do it again.
We did we only had reserved tables for family, and then everything else was like find a place to sit. And like it was split level, so there's some people upstairs in the little cutout area and some people downstairs, and it was like all family for the most part downstairs, and everybody else was just like, hey, there's a bunch of tables upstairs, 8 of you can fit at one, find a seat. Yeah, I don't need to worry about where you're sitting. And
It was
yeah, there were a couple people who were like, well, how come we didn't have a seat downstairs? I was like, why do you care? You got free food, you got to come hang out.
For real.
Like, you didn't have to be here. You could have had a seat at home.
That's true.
But
we thought about it. We did, but the way that we did like a family style meal, so that the number of people at the tables had to be consistent for that, and so
yeah, we had it was basically a buffet line. You'd get up and like it was pulled pork or chicken or whatever, and you just get everything and then go back to your seat.
yeah. No, I wish we'd done that because it was a mess. No, well, I mean,
the food was good.
The catering guy couldn't get the freaking service right.
No, I think I got the catering right. The hard part was just the seating or whatever. The catering was like that was my number one like Walker must have good food.
Oh, they were they were awesome. They were all over it too, especially the time between, like obviously between the ceremony when you guys are getting pictures and stuff, like they were swarming, bro. They were all over the place. You couldn't, the amount of times when I was like, Heather would be like, oh, I want another one of those. And I just have to hit them with the like, that kind of thing. And they were like, they came right over. Like they never had any issues. They're like, yeah, people like these. I'm like, yeah. We need another one of those, another couple of those. So what was it? It was it was like a mixture of like cheese and honey and something of that sort.
Ah, yes. That was fried halloumi, hot honey.
Yeah. That was interesting. Good. It almost killed my wife because she accidentally breathed in and it hit her in the right place, and she was coughing for like 20 minutes straight. And like I think first off she didn't expect it because like she had one before it. It was like the second one she ate. The first one like it wasn't like real hot or anything of that sort. But it was something about it. She like accidentally like breathed in or something when she was going to swallow, and it hit the back of her throat and stuff. But no, man, that stuff was good. And then the mussels coming around were great.
Yeah, the mussels I think the mussels are the winner, man. Mussels are that's probably it's my favorite bivalve for sure. My favorite bivalve for sure.
Yeah, I mean I figured you had one, so I'd have to really think about what mine.
How many bivalves are there? Like 6?
Do you want me to start listing bivalves?
How many are commonly served as food?
Like 3. Scallops, mussels, clams,
right.
A bunch of different varieties of clams, right?
Are oysters a bivalve?
Oysters, yeah.
Yeah, so you got 4. So it's in the top 25%.
Okay, but there's like a ton of different varieties of clams.
Okay. I feel like the point stands. How many bivalves are there? You could say shellfish or seafood.
Species of bivalves.
All right, here we go.
Total number.
The real question is, how many of these can I get at Red Lobster?
Yeah.
Probably
I'm probably not getting them.
Excuse me, Nick. There are roughly 20,000 described species of bivalves.
Okay, how many have you eaten?
Clams?
But this includes creatures like clams, oysters, scallops, and mussels. Just the top 4.
So literally, they're like, "Hey, but these are the ones that matter. The literal ones that Nick."
All right, so we're both right.
Categories, yeah.
There you
so
go.
We're both right. That's fine. I'm good with that.
Yeah, no, I'm just being an ass.
You are literally right, and I am figuratively correct. So
that's right.
So one more thing, and then obviously this is the last thing that comes to mind for me, and then I'll open it up to you, Walker, if there's anything else you want to talk about the wedding. So we were on the dance floor. Okay. So this was a near magical moment, Nick. We were there, we were hanging out, and then we're sitting there, and then I like I said earlier, we had planned to come to the wedding. We had done the RSVP, done everything, but months earlier, right? Like it was literal like 4 or 5 months. It felt like, I mean, maybe not that long, but that's what it felt like. We came, we're on the dance floor, and Heather looks at me like she does at every wedding. and she says, "Should I go request Every Time We Touch by Cascada?" Because the song goes so hard. And it is the perfect dance song, especially for our age group, millennials. Like, it is perfect song.
Did he play it at mine? I'm pretty sure I put it on the list. I don't know if Brad played it.
I'm not sure, but all I know is it is literally like for our age group. Like there's gonna come a day where maybe it's not. I think it still will be.
Mr. Brightside though?
No. There are many
that one definitely got played
this.
at my wedding.
For sure. And there are many that can hit this, like Mr. Brightside for sure. That's more of a sing song. If you want millennials to dance on that goddamn dance floor, you will get that with that song. And so she loves doing it. And I'm not even kidding. The moment that Heather asked me that, not 20 seconds later, that song played. And Chloe walks up and said to Heather, basically was like, so I don't even remember the word she said, but basically indicated that she knew that Heather had asked for that. Yep. And I didn't know. I was like, hold on. Did she like somehow overhear? Because like there was loud music playing. We were on the dance floor when she was talking to me about it, Nick. Like it was like that. I was like, did she read Heather's lips through the music and then go over? Well, it's because on the RSVP.
We asked on the RSVP,
but
That's great.
It was incredible, dude. Like,
she did read her lips though. She was like, "Oh,
very conscious of other people, Chloe."
She said it.
Very conscious of other people.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was also obviously like highlight of the wedding is actually getting to meet Chloe because I hadn't met her. So I think Ryan was the only one who had met her, right? Like because Hala had never been. Yeah.
Was Murph there?
No, he was stuck in dog. He's picked up some bad habits, actually.
he's rebelling.
Yeah, he came back with a little like mom tattoo on. I don't even know, dude.
Won't even look at me anymore. Growls every time I come in the room. Yeah.
No, we tried every way we could think of getting him, and we just like I almost bought him a plane ticket, and I just did not think he'd be able to make it. Like he's just not. He's a good boy, but he's not that good of a boy.
Right. Yeah,
I just don't think he could have dealt with like a 5-hour plane ride.
And you don't want to put him in a kennel and like have him pee in there or whatever. That's a whole.
No, we wouldn't put him in the bottom of the plane. We couldn't put him in he's too big to fit under a seat.
Right.
And then all that's left is you have to buy him a seat, and that you really can only do for service dogs, and it's a whole thing.
They're not allowed to ask if he's a service dog. You just tell him he's a service dog.
Yeah. Well, I almost drove my ass to Maine to bring the damn dog, but I would have done it if I'd had any extra vacation time on either side, but
that's right.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not.
So is there anything, because I did want to ask, because I didn't know what we talked briefly about it, and maybe you did tell me, but I don't remember what you actually said you guys were doing post-wedding. You had a little bit of time, right? But
yeah.
Is there anything else about the actual wedding you want to talk about, or do you want to talk about? Well, anyways.
Yeah, we went to my family's had a little cabin on a lake in Maine for years and years, so we just went there. It was
nice,
free.
There you go.
Fishing? Did you go fishing?
We did go fishing. Did a lot of fishing. Hiked up a mountain called Tumble Down. It's really steep.
Did you?
Tumble down?
We did not tumble down. No.
Okay.
It's really steep, like really steep. But really cool mountain. It's got a little pond at the top, so I caught some golden shiner up there. Technically, there are brook trout, but none of them were biting. Yeah, just did absolutely nothing for the whole week. It was really nice. And then immediately went back to work.
Yeah.
Also, boo.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, speaking of going back to work, should we transition?
I think that is good, because one of us isn't.
What? So some would say I'm working more than I have in the last 2 years, but
I'm certainly seeing more come from you in content department.
Dude, but unfortunately, it has not been ForcedToPod, which we're trying to rectify that, folks. As we're here, we're trying to figure out, we're trying to dial it in. But yeah, so anyways, I guess we'll move to what's been happening in my life since our last recording. So since our last recording, I have quit my job, and there's a whole host of reasons for that. Now, obviously, let me back up, and then I'll get into the nitty gritty of it. So I've quit my job, and what I am doing now with my time is a lot of content creation, meaning videos, will be like podcast type things, live streams, doing that. A lot of that is just surrounding Destiny 2 at this point, but my hope and goal is that I will expand out to broader gaming, gaming happening, gaming news, things of that sort over time, and still kind of navigating and figuring that out. So this is something that I have been dipping my toe into on a much smaller scale for a long time. Obviously, the podcast was, we got to get in here and the production value side of it. But then, I know, Nick, you know this, but Walker, I feel like you know this as well. Like, I have always wanted to work for myself in some capacity. Just had that drive to, it's just soul crushing to me to just have to answer to someone else. And when I left my last job, I really liked everyone that I worked with. I still am in touch with multiple people because they've come over and they start playing Destiny with us. Like, I don't have any issues with, Nick, from Marion, I'll stay in touch with that. But I just kind of found myself in a place where I needed more flexibility in my life for a variety of reasons. And it just didn't make sense to continue doing what I was doing and then trying to just burn the candle at both ends, essentially. And so diving into it, obviously I'm not at a place that's one question. So I put out a video on my YouTube channel, which is just called Sax Plays Games. If you guys are interested, you're listening, you want to see some of the stuff I've made. I put out a video, and a lot of people are super supportive because I've been gaining a lot of traction over there. So for context, to get your channel on YouTube monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 watch hours. Currently, I just broke 3,000 subscribers, and I believe, I actually don't remember where it's at, but what I do know is that across both YouTube and TikTok, I may on the same day break 1 million views, total views on both platforms. So 2 million total, but 1 million on both platforms. And so I started the channel 2 months ago, or 2.5 months ago. And so just been really pushing for that. And it's been going well. But I was telling Walker before, and then I didn't want to dip into it. I'm very sleepy right now. I'm struggling because my problem is, and I've had a couple other times in life where I've had to kind of be motivated, do my own stuff, not fully working for myself, but all right, one time I lost a job and I was like, okay, well, I still have bills to pay. So I got to find a way to make $20 today. You know what I mean? Literally it was where I was. And so I'd wake up and I'd be like, well, any more time that I spend here laying in bed, I'm not doing that thing.
That's 1 pound less of copper you could rip out of somebody's walls.
Go through it. What's the piece that people always cut off of the trucks?
A catalytic converter.
It's one less catalytic converter. So honestly, man, sometimes it got so dire, but being able to find ways to do that, and so I'm struggling with that right now. And so apologies to Heather, because I know I've been very I'm just trying to navigate it, right? Just trying to navigate, okay, what does an actual schedule look like? What do I actually want to do? I enjoy the live streaming side of things, and you can make good money on that, but is that actually what I want to do? Or do I enjoy, because I really, really, really enjoy making a video, doing a lot of edits, writing the script out, the process of doing the research for it, but that's very time intensive and things of that sort. So I have some videos that are on my channel that have performed really well, but took upwards of 100 hours to put together, right? I have a video where it's breaking down the top 50 exotic weapons that have ever come out in Destiny 2. and I did research on it, and not only that, but also how to get them like now, which is very difficult, as Walker knows, Nick to a lesser extent, but the basics of it is like there's a lot of stuff in the game that no longer exists in the game. So you got it one way, but then they've reverted or removed things. And so a lot of the stuff I've been making has been like angled at people who would be coming back to Destiny. It's just returning players guides. Like, here's how you do this. Here's how you do this, X, Y, and Z. And so I find a lot of fulfillment in doing that and helping people. And then the last piece of it has been building out like a specific Destiny like Discord community so that there are people who are invested and then they're kind of getting the benefits that a lot of our like smaller friend group have gotten for a long time. So I'm trying to find ways to scale that, right? Because that's what I always said. And the one thing that's been a little difficult for me on this for quite some time is like, I never want to like monetize friendships, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like be like, oh, well, you do this, but like you have to be like, subscribe to my YouTube to do like a teaching run or something of this, you know, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if I can start from a foundation of like, hey, everyone understands that this is like my business. This is how I make a living. This is like the money that I'm going to live on or that I'm going to bring to the table in my family, right? Like that's a better understanding. And then people come in and you can still be generous. Like I can still be helpful and provide all these things, but there's an avenue, right? Like where it's doing that. So I'm trying to navigate all that and, just been working through that lens. So I don't know. I know you guys have been super busy, so you might not even be keeping up with anything. Obviously, Nick, it seems like you're at least seeing that the videos are getting posted and stuff. But like, what is your guys' perspective on me diving into something like this?
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. You've been headed down this path for a long time, man. Yeah, no, you're always the one to organize things. So trying to get people together to play the game, it makes sense. I get what you say about not wanting to monetize your friendships and stuff, and that's broadly appreciated.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's generally considered to be good policy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a courageous thing to do. It's not a guaranteed thing, and it's good to do something that you say, meh, yeah, let's try it. Why not? I don't think enough people do that. Well, it's hard though.
Right. Yeah.
I just want to know what your allowance from Heather is.
Well, so as I like
you
to
can
say,
ping me offline. You know.
Well, as I like to say it, she still has a ways to go to make up. Like and obviously we don't treat our finances like that, but like she has quite a ways to go to make up for the 6 years that she was in school. But it's not going to take nearly as long as it would take me to go back. So it's going to be eclipsed pretty quickly. But that is one thing, and we were actually talking about this, and this is something that I'm going to have to work through. And this is an actual thing. It's like the feeling of, okay, we're taking a chance here. And what I told her is like, if I can do this, like if I can give this a shot, I want to, at least for a while, I want to give it a full chance, give it everything I have. And I promise that I will work as hard as she did for like dental school and, you know, her residency and stuff. And she set the bar so high. And so right now I'm trying to navigate that. What's that actually look like? Because I need to make sure that like what I'm doing and the work I'm putting in is actually good for us, right? Like it's good for us as a couple. Cause like what would it matter at all for me to succeed and for her to succeed separately? But like, I don't ever see her, you know, I'm up super late live streaming, doing all this stuff. And so she's going to bed before I go and stuff. So I'm trying to navigate and trying to figure out what my schedule is going to be. I got to do that. I got to figure out, I have no problem waking up in the morning and being motivated. My problem right now actually is the opposite. Like I woke up in the middle of the night last night and I'm like, you know, script idea for this video I'm putting out on Friday. And I'm like, I want to do this. I literally was on Google Docs at like 3:34. I looked up at my clock, like the little clock on my phone last night. It was like 3:30 in the morning, and I was just typing on there just because I wanted to get it out of my head and stuff. And I got to find a way to balance it and actually have like office hours type situation and stuff like that. So I'm navigating it. I appreciate you guys, specifically Nick and Walker, like for being understanding that it has been insane recently. And just a peek behind the curtain, like with this stuff here, right? It's like I love recording these and stuff, but there are times where it's like, hey, this is a time sensitive thing where we get like thousands of people to view it, and then sometimes we're going to record episodes about using AI to visit the Titanic, and then YouTube's going to nuke it into oblivion, and it's going to get viewed by literally 0 people.
The
And
man
I
doesn't
do,
want you to know what's down at the Titanic, and
Yeah.
that you too can build
Yeah.
a submarine. to
Big
get down there.
submarine. Big sub doesn't want us to know.
It's not that hard.
big sub. So, but yeah, and then aside from that, like I said earlier, my knee was killing me when we were up pretty consistently in the spring. We were just playing like one time, and then we ramped it up to 2 times a week, so Sundays and Wednesdays going and playing and stuff. And I get on the sand, boys, and I just forget that I'm like a 6'4", 300-pound man, and I just dive everywhere like I'm a child again, and like I'm all over the place, and I'm having the time of my life, and I love it more than anything. Like I love it way more than any sport I probably ever played growing up. Like maybe tennis, because tennis was just like 1v1. Like if I lost, it was on me. Like it was the only sport I ever played.
1v1 me IRL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the only sport I played that was like that I was competitive in. But went, and then we were hiking early on in the week, and then we kind of chilled out later. So my knee started feeling better. Came back. I think we flew back in on Saturday. Sunday we had a game. I went up to try to meet someone to block, like as they were going to spike. Pop, and shot pain down the left side of my leg, downwards and upwards. When I came, it was actually on the jump up. So it wasn't when I came hit back down when I went up. Yep. And then when I hit the ground, or when I hit the sand again, I collapsed, got over to the bench, and then Heather said she looked at me. She could literally see, like, my face was red from playing, obviously. And she said, I just watched the color wash out of your face. I just got, like, sheet white. I almost passed out. And then, like, it was less from a pain because I was just, like, on adrenaline at that point. It was more from the realization of, like, okay, I really just messed up my knee.
Yeah.
This is going to be bad. So I went into ortho. They looked at it. So I had a couple rounds of x-rays just to make sure I didn't actually break something. Nothing there. I know that it's some sort of ligament adjacent thing, but I believe now it's actually the meniscus, because you can walk around without your meniscus. Like they'll just cut it out. Like that's what they did for a long time, is like this, get rid of it or scrape it. And I guess now they actually go in and do stitch it back, but that takes a lot longer to fix, like 6 to 9 months of like physical therapy and kind of intense stuff. But they say like the long-term repercussions of that is like much more positive. But what's crazy is like I can almost perfectly walk on it at this point. It's just painful and a little unsteady. So that makes me think it is actually the meniscus that's just like torn, and like I can't play right now, unfortunately.
You haven't gotten an official diagnosis of
no. So I
CT
went in,
or whatever.
Yeah. So I went into ortho, and they went through, and he did the comparison thing, like between my two knees and bending and figuring out what was hurting.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of imagery that can just look at it and say,
"Oh yeah,
MRI,
that's." But I can't get into the dang MRI. The problem is, so my MRI is not for like 20 more days.
Oh.
So because they had to go through insurance,
helium shortage or whatever.
I guess, dude. So I don't know.
That is how MRIs operate, by the way, right, Walker?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they use liquid helium to cool the magnets.
Huh. So, anyways, that's where I'm at. So right now I'm on the IR, and well, the grand irony of it was, so I turned in my 2 weeks notice on a Tuesday. So then what it made was my last day was going to be July 1st, which was going to give me a full extra month of my insurance, which I ended up hurting my knee on the Sunday before the Monday and Tuesday that would be, it to
Fortunate.
push in. So I didn't end up going back to the office Monday and Tuesday of that week. So essentially, my last day was the Friday before because I had the doctor's note.
Oh, I'm injured. Oh, golly
I
gee.
wasn't a ton of pain at that point, but like the yeah, I texted my boss. I said, "I'm sorry, dude. Like this sucks." He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "As long as you can get your laptop to me." So I drove downtown, took it to my coworker. He came down and grabbed it for me and brought me my stuff that I had on my desk out and did everything. But so I'm hoping I can sneak this in on the old insurance before I was trying to see if I could get my image done before that and get a couple things on this round. But we'll move everything over in August, so we'll see how it goes. So.
Are you able to get on Heather's insurance now? Or are you gonna have to cover it? Good. Good.
Yep. So
Yeah, Cobra sucks.
I don't know. Okay, maybe you guys will think this is funny. This makes me laugh, but Chloe and I have managed to screw ourselves in a pretty hilarious way with insurance. So obviously, I would like to bring her onto my health insurance because she's a poor student, and I should do that right now that she's my wife. So
Yeah, and defense
go and
contracts
try to-
usually have good insurance.
Yeah, yeah. No, so I'm trying to go. Well, I have the UT
We're in
insurance.
Dallas,
Great.
Yeah, Skunk Works. Yeah. I know.
Just a humble state employee, um, working for the state of Texas, and we've got lovely insurance, which I want my lovely wife to have. So I try to go do it. It says no, you can't have insurance for your wife because she is also a state employee because her work this summer is actually for UT Houston. And it's a conflict there. So I said, okay, no problem. We'll just wait for the open enrollment period, which is of course the next 2 weeks. So we've managed to just like get ourselves into this wonderful little edge case. So I'm trying to that all
wait,
week.
so why is open enrollment in like the middle of the year? Is it just because she's like a
School
student?
year. It's our fiscal year.
Oh, I gotcha.
Remember
Because
how I just said 10 times I work for the University of
well,
Texas?
yeah, but Nick and I worked for the university for like 4 years, and our open enrollment was always in fall, or
Yeah,
like
but we worked for a private school, not a state school.
Well, and school also starts earlier in Texas as well, generally. Like students are
yeah,
going to be
but
coming in
I don't
August.
know. I think you're I don't know. I
It's
think
all a scam.
I
Insurance
don't
is
know
all
what
a
to tell
racket.
you other than our
So
open enrollments to like the next 2 weeks. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, I believe you that the issue exists, but like I do
it doesn't
I
sound
do.
like he believes you.
No, I just think the whole thing of like
Yeah.
acting like I didn't hear that you're a university employee is like, well, we get that. We do.
no, I know.
Understand
I'm yanking your chain.
for sure.
It's really weird, and I think it makes
That
me
is
chuckle.
weird. That is kind of a
Uh,
weird like pickle you've gotten into. So
like it just shouldn't happen. It wouldn't have happened if we didn't line our wedding up exactly with the poorly placed open enrollment period. I'm going to lodge a complaint with the dean. Uh, yeah. Anyway, I that
so
made me chuckle this week. But
so if she can't get onto yours, like what is the because we kind of ended up in a weird situation when I moved down to Louisville. So we had to be on for 1 year. We had to be on Heather's student insurance. I had to get onto hers because mine was so bad at my work. That was technically cheaper. It was horrendous. Like the coverage we had and everything with that. Like so it's because she's acting as like she's an actual employee in some capacity.
yeah, she's got her summer like research fellowship thing is
Oh, okay.
put
Okay.
on by University of
I
Texas
gotcha.
Houston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Heather was a student year round, like like she didn't do any like research type stuff. So okay, I'm with you now.
No, it's crazy that they're actually giving them insurance for like the 8 weeks that they're there, which I mean is awesome, but like kind
It's
of
not even
nuts.
enough time to get your claims processed.
I don't know. Chloe's actually made like a dozen doctor's appointments, just like as many as she could think of.
I got to go to the gyno. I got to go to the PCP. I got to go to the optometrist, dentist,
really
everything.
good
Yeah.
insurance. It's great
Well,
insurance. I like it.
we're
Anyway.
we're in that like Kristen can't get a new job at this point because of all of the medical stuff that she's already done this year, and is continuing to have done appointments with dermatologists and melanoma specialists and like just everything. Well, it started out the year she had what was it, an ear infection, and then she had like kidney pain, ended up having to have an operation to remove a kidney stone, and then went to the dermatologist to get this spot checked out. Turns out that was skin cancer. And like, it's just been every month there's just been a new thing. She's just
blew up your deductible.
Oh, yeah. It's gone. Yeah. So she's like, I got to get everything done this year before I have to start paying again.
Yeah. Our health insurance system is just so wild. I can't.
Problem is, I still don't know like what I'm gonna pay when I go somewhere. Like I thought I did, like, you know, because we did this year too, because we figured we might have some like larger medical expenses this year, so we did the PPO instead of the high deductible, and in there, and I'm like, okay, well, I thought it was just $25 or whatever, but when I went to the ortho office, it was 50 bones. I'm like, I don't know how to know like how much I'm gonna pay when I walk in.
Well, of course, there's different tiers of doctor, don't you know?
I guess, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So, and then
yeah,
the coolest doctor who just went by Ellis. Like, shout out to Ellis, who is a literal doctor, but like, you know,
awesome.
He came in and he's just wearing like a U of L tracksuit. Just came in and do whatever. He was super cool. If you look up Ellis, a U of L ortho, I'm sure you can find him. He has the coolest fro in his like intro video, and then his actual like professional headshot, his hair was really short.
But
when I saw him, it was
oh
like
my lord!
Yeah,
you're not
shout
lying.
out to Ellis.
He's got the turtleneck with the sport coat over it.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, like I don't know if I can share.
My man's got a vibe, and I'm here for it. That's awesome.
No, he was cool. He was real cool. He was here and through. And what's funny too is like when I told the different staff, right? Because you meet with like the assistant first, and then you meet and talk with him. I tell him I was playing volleyball. He's like, "Oh, where are you playing?" It's so funny. Like, he's just so locked in. Like, who would have thought that like sand volleyball was so like integral here in Louisville? But it really is. There's so many courts around, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I played at J-Town Beach, and I play at King Louis, and but I really like playing downtown at where Baxter Jackson, all these places." And it's like, yeah, but they're all great places that have unique experiences, and yeah.
Walker, I'm putting a picture of him in the chat. It won't let me. Okay, never mind. I'll just send you the link.
Maybe we'll post a link to Ellis and the good old ForcedToPod. Well, boys, Walker's got to get his pizza. We got to figure out the whole pizza thing.
I set it up just right. I got to get my pizza and I got to get my insurance. But I'm sure it'll all work out. It's just I'll get my pizza. I'll have my insurance. Life will be good again. Happy days.
Good. Get them both from Domino's. Domino's Health Insurance. So. Well, boys, it's been nice to be back. Y'all, to anyone who's watching, listening, you've been waiting longingly for this. We appreciate you for coming back, doing that. We're trying to figure some things out. So there may be, some focusing in of things. I think that's our key is right now. Like I love just coming in and just kind of like shooting the breeze with you guys, but just focusing in on what we're talking about and things of that sort. So we're working through some things. But as always, we're work in progress, y'all. And if you see any mistakes, no, you didn't. So we appreciate you guys. Until next time, be blessed, y'all. See ya.